Hello there, this is Nick Roach. I've just done my first ever Skype session online. I think it went well. I've been very reluctant for all these years to do any Skype meetings. The reason is, apart from possible technical difficulties, of course, whether it's the internet being slow, computer doing backups or software problems, there's all sorts of stuff that can happen. So that can be a little bit unsettling if you've arranged to talk to someone on the other side of the world and suddenly things aren't working and you know they're at the PC on the other end waiting for you. But also, when I meet people for one-to-ones, as I have for a few years now, they generally last between 2 and 3 hours. The first hour will be often them doing most of the talking, describing to me their life, their situation, what they hope to get from the meeting. And I clarify and answer any questions and points, and then start to talk about their situation from my perspective and how to connect with the space, the being, how to dissolve the emotion, how they are creating a situation outside themselves to help them expose the emotion. And that can be 2 hours. And then in the third hour, and I don't structure this, by the way, it just happens this way, the third hour is often them relaying back what they've understood and me confirming yes, and then reaffirming it further with more examples. Then at 3 hours, we're usually about done. They've got all their questions answered. They know how it all fits together. They know what they have to do going forward, and it is complete. Now that is of course very different from going to a therapist, for example, where often the meeting is 1 hour, it's fixed, it's a financial agreement, it's a contract, there are boundaries, you're paying the therapist for 1 hour and then make another appointment for the future and you keep coming back. I like to get everything done in the first visit, in the first meeting. I don't like to leave the person after one-to-one with any questions, any doubts, anything they don't know, anything they're not sure of. I cover everything while I'm there. We've covered everything. And they have no more questions. It's just their job to do what we've discussed. They either do it and their life changes dramatically after that, or they don't do it and they carry on as they've always done. But that is their choice. They know what they have to do. And it's very rare do I meet the same person twice. I either never ever hear from them again, or they start emailing me for the next few days and weeks saying, wow, my life has changed, this is amazing, thank you. And they ask me to clarify certain things they're seeing, the realizations, insights, and after a few days, a couple of weeks, it goes quiet again, and maybe a year or two later they'll email me with something new. But that's what we normally do with one-to-ones. But that's not going to work, of course, on Skype. First of all, by not sitting with the person, the communication is a bit disjointed on the internet. As much as great as Skype is, certainly to me, it's not the same as sitting in someone's living room or in a coffee shop, having a cup of coffee or tea, whatever you drink, relaxed, face to face, having a chat. We are looking at the computer screen. We're not with each other really. There is some separation there. So I don't quite like that as much. And then, of course, who wants to sit at a computer screen for 3 hours? I certainly don't. So the whole dynamic, the whole energy changes doing Skype one-to-one as a person in person one-to-one. I think we'll all agree with that. So I've been very reluctant to offer one-to-ones via Skype at all. But in this day and age, with the website and the internet and my YouTube videos and the Facebook and emails, people now know about me and with all the books, and people across the world are asking for Skype. What I would ask first, please, because we're not going to sit together for 3 hours, and I do want to cover all the questions, whatever you have, is that you look at my videos, my YouTube channel. At this time, where are we? We're getting towards the middle of March 2018, and at the moment we've got 45 videos. All except for one are between 15 and 20 minutes long. So they're quite short. They're free. And they're available now. And I intend to keep adding to them. But the point is, the vast majority are about emotion and dealing with it. And if you can watch those and practice what it says, when we eventually have a chat via Skype, if we need to, you'll be able to say to me, Nick, I've been doing what you say, and this has happened, and that happened, and this is, and I can then just confirm what you're experiencing and tweak things if we need to, because you're already nearly there. Or you might find you don't even need to talk to me on Skype, just email me. I'd love to hear if you're doing well. Nick, this is amazing. Love it. Transform my life. Happen. Because you're doing it. You're already doing it. The videos are there on the YouTube channel, completely free. Please watch them first, because when we talk via Skype, what I will be telling you, whatever problem you've got in your life, whatever it is, I'll be telling you, be aware in the moment. The emotion will come up. The problem in your life had to happen, the emotion to be exposed. This is why it's happened. The problem happened to expose the emotion. And normally, people think and worry about the problem, or some of them will avoid it, think about something else, but they'll think and worry about the problem, and the emotion is fed and enlarged, and then the emotion goes back down into the unconscious, where it started off before it came up. And that's why therapists say that throughout our lives, every time we're unhappy from being a baby, every time we're angry, upset, whatever it is, all the emotion is stored, and it actually is always in the unconscious, driving the way we interact with people, our thought process, the mannerisms, the body language. Our whole mental thinking is controlled and governed by this emotion under the surface, which has been accumulating your entire life. So when the emotion comes up at any moment, it is past, it's old emotion coming up. And when we think about the problem, we expand it further, it then goes down again. We've increased the amount of emotion. And later on, when another problem has to happen to bring it up again, it's again exposed. Now this is karma. This is what people are referring to when they use the word karma, the emotion from the past coming up again to be addressed correctly. And the correct way of dealing with it is hold the space, hold the emotion, as per all my videos, please do go and watch them. There are different ways this is explained, but the point is to be aware and hold the emotion in the conscious awareness with the attention. Just hold it. As long as you're separate from the emotion, you're doing it. If you're lost in it, lost in the thinking, imagination process, you're just feeding it, as you always have been, let's say. That's a normal way to live. But by being aware, if you're aware that you're uncomfortable and you're aware of the emotion, you're doing it. That's it. And what I tell people in meetings and on Skype is that when you're dissolving the emotion, when you're aware and you're dissolving it, you're taking the energy out of it inside you, the energy, unconscious, the unhappiness, the emotion being taken out of it. And one of three things will happen. Either after a little while, the emotion will be dissolved. The situation is exactly the same outside you, the thing that was upsetting you, exactly the same. Nothing's changed, except you feel differently about it. The emotion's gone. You dissolved it. It couldn't survive being looked at, being held consciously, and it's gone. The second possibility is as the emotion which was clouding the thought process, as the emotion has been dissolved and that's gone, you see things clearly. And now you see there's an action you could take. I mean, you couldn't even, I don't know why you didn't think of it before. It's so obvious, it's so simple. Just do that. Make a phone call, buy that, look that up, go and ask that person, whatever it is. Suddenly, oh, I need to do that. And then once again, it's not a problem. The third thing is the situation's gone. As if by magic, dissolving the emotion inside, you get a phone call. It's not happening now. It's okay. There's a false alarm. Something like that will happen. It will not be a problem at all. It won't exist. Those are the three options from dissolving the emotion when there's a problem. One of those three. But it starts with being conscious. Because while you're unhappy in the imagination, thinking and worrying about the thing, the problem outside you will remain. Because that's why it's there. Because all one being. The emotion inside is the other half of the situation, the problem outside. They're one and the same energy. We think they're not. We think this space is separate. It's not separate. The emotion you feel inside, connected to a problem outside, is the very energy that's creating it. They're one and the same. As within, so without. It's the same thing. And in the one-to-one meetings, people will then keep coming back with examples about various things, and I keep coming back to the same point. Are you aware and conscious now? In any moment? That is the only question. And they might then give me examples of the times they have been aware and things they do nicely in the moment and they're aware. Or they'll tell me what they will do later to help them be in the moment. And you're now giving yourself excuses why you can't do it now. Be aware in the moment now. Are you here now? At any moment. Because the emotion cannot survive in the moment. But it'll always give you a reason why you can't do it now. Or you'll have been in your imagination, then you come back to your senses. Yes, that's what it means. Come back to your senses and you're aware. And then you think, right, I'm here now. That's good because I was thinking. And you can see you've already lost. You're now thinking about that you were thinking. And then you catch yourself again, and right, I'm back. Well, that was annoying because I went away and I was thinking for so long. And you've lost it. You're now thinking, but bad, that you failed because you were thinking. This is what the mind will do, give you any reason not to be conscious. Because the emotion cannot survive. And if you ask me for a Skype meeting, which you're welcome to do, this will be the essence of the discussion. This is what I'll be saying over and over and over again, be conscious, be aware. The space inside you, the emotion, any disturbance is creating the situation outside, the situation one and the same. Dissolve it inside and keep watching, and outside will be addressed and corrected as well, and you're working in alignment with life. You become one and the same. And life becomes simple. With emotions, it's very difficult, very complicated, because emotions want things to think about, want things to worry about, want things to imagine and dramatize, and so life gives you that. The emotion comes up and we feed it, give it more energy, and it goes back down. We become heavier and heavier and more emotional and more set in our ways, but you practice being aware, life becomes simpler and easier. So feel free to ask me for Skype, and I'm very happy to, but you get the idea. Please do watch several of the videos, not just one. Get the idea, practice it, try it, get the books. And then you'll be able to come to me and say, Nick, I'm trying it, just need a couple of pointers, please. And then we can have a Skype meeting and you'll know it all. Thank you very much. I'll speak to you soon. Thank you.